There comes a moment in every life when the invisible hand of God begins to move in ways that defy logic, overturn limitation, and rewrite the narrative of an entire season. And when we stand on the edge of such a moment, something inside us begins to whisper, prepare yourself, something is shifting. Today I want you to hear that shift. I want you to feel that whisper. I want you to recognize that God is about to reload your bank account, not merely with money, but with provision, opportunities, ideas, connections, strength, and supernatural possibility. When I say God is about to reload your bank account, I am not speaking only of a balance on a statement. I am speaking of divine replenishment. I am speaking of restoration. I am speaking of everything that felt lost, drained, spent, or wasted, coming back to you in a measure greater than what you originally had. I am speaking of the kind of blessing that arrives not by chance, not by human calculation, not by the favor of people, but by the intervention of God Himself. There are seasons when you give, you sow, you work, you push, and you struggle, and yet your efforts seem to produce nothing close to the harvest you expected. There are moments when you look at your life and think, how am I still behind? How am I still fighting the same battles? How is it that after all I've done, I feel more depleted than ever? And if we are honest, some of us don't merely feel financially drained. We feel emotionally overdrawn, spiritually low, physically tired, mentally stretched. It is as though every account connected to our life has been running on empty. But that is precisely the moment when God loves to step in. God shows up not when everything is full, but when everything is empty. He visited the widow when the oil was almost gone. He multiplied the loaves when the basket was nearly empty. He showed up for the prodigal when the pockets were drained. He blessed Peter with a net-breaking catch after a night of catching nothing. God has a consistent pattern of performing His greatest miracles in moments of human depletion. So if you feel low, if you feel empty, if you feel stretched, if you feel like nothing seems to be enough, good. You are exactly where God works best. When I say your bank account is about to be reloaded, I am declaring that the same God who multiplies, the same God who provides, the same God who opens windows of heaven, the same God who pours out blessings so abundant that they overflow, that God is stepping into your story. And when He steps into a story, He never steps in empty-handed. God does not come with barely enough. He comes with more than enough. He comes with pressed down, shaken together, running over. He comes not only to replace what you lost, but to transform what you lost into something far more valuable. Some of you have gone through a season where life has felt like a series of withdrawals. People withdrew support. Opportunities withdrew. Money withdrew. Peace withdrew. Confidence withdrew. Even your expectations withdrew. But now you are entering a season of deposits, divine deposits. What God is about to send you will come so unexpectedly, so suddenly, so abundantly, that you will realize every withdrawal was preparation for a greater deposit. Every empty space was preparing room for a greater blessing. God is about to reload your bank account means your dry season is coming to an end. Your waiting season is breaking. Your sowing season is about to turn into harvest. The seeds you planted in faith, in tears, in obedience, those seeds that seemed forgotten are about to spring forth. And the beautiful thing about God is that He does not repay seeds. He multiplies them. A seed never returns as a seed. It returns as a harvest. So prepare yourself. What is coming is not equal to what you lost. What is coming is pressed down, shaken together, running over, abundant, multiplied. Some people believe this kind of blessing must be earned by being perfect. But God does not bless you because you are perfect. God blesses because He is faithful. God blesses because He is generous. God blesses because He loves to reveal Himself through miracles in the lives of those who dare to trust Him. Let me tell you something. God is not restricted by your current income. God is not intimidated by your current bills. God is not hindered by the lack of opportunities around you. God does not operate according to your job, your paycheck, your connections, or your education. God operates according to His riches in glory. And those riches never run out. Some of you have been asking, how will I pay this? How will I manage that? How will I handle what is coming? But God is saying, stop worrying about the how. I am the how. I am the source. I am the provider. I am the one who sustains, supplies, multiplies, and restores. When your confidence is in God, your bank account becomes a canvas for His provision. What is coming to you is not simply money. What is coming is strategy. What is coming is wisdom. What is coming is business ideas. What is coming is a new job. What is coming is a promotion. What is coming is supernatural favor. What is coming is provision. That makes no sense to the people around you. God is not merely putting numbers in your account. He is preparing you for a new level of responsibility and opportunity. Some of you have been faithful with little. You have managed little. You have given when it was hard. You have tithed when it seemed ridiculous. You have blessed others even when you struggled yourself. You have been consistent in seasons when others quit. And because of your faithfulness, you are stepping into the season of much. God is about to trust you with more because you proved that you could be trusted with less. But listen to this. When God reloads your bank account, it is not so you can stay where you are. Blessing comes with purpose. Provision comes with assignment. Increase comes with responsibility. God blesses you so you can become a blessing not just for yourself, but for those connected to you, your family, your community, your vision, your calling. Some of you have big dreams but small resources. The dream is big but the money seems small. The vision is big but the support seems small. The calling is big but the tools seem small. God is about to align your resources with your vision. He is about to bring the provision that matches the promise He placed on your life. You will not dream small because of fear. You will not shrink your vision because of your current bank balance. What is coming will match what God has spoken over your life. There are divine transactions taking place on your behalf right now, behind the scenes, beyond your sight, beyond your understanding. God is speaking your name in rooms you have never entered. He is opening doors you did not even know existed. He is arranging connections you have yet to meet. He is positioning people who will help you, favor you, support you, and invest in you. The reloading of your account is not only financial, it is relational, emotional, spiritual, and generational. Some of you have survived seasons that should have broken you. Yet here you stand, not only alive, but expectant. Not only standing, but believing. Not only enduring, but preparing for what is next. This is the evidence that your story is not finished. The enemy tried to drain you, but he failed. The storm tried to strip you, but it could not. The setback tried to bury you, but you rose again. That means your harvest cannot be denied. Your blessing cannot be blocked. Your increase cannot be canceled. When God reloads your account, He does it suddenly. He does it swiftly. He does it unexpectedly. He does it in a way that makes your testimony echo beyond your own life. Because when people see what God is about to do for you, they will know it was not luck. It was not coincidence. It was not human effort. It was God. You may have been counted out, but God is counting you back in. You may have felt overlooked, but God never lost sight of you. You may have felt behind, but God is accelerating your steps. You may have felt disqualified, but God is rewriting the criteria. You may have felt unworthy, but God is covering you with grace. Today I want you to believe again. I want you to expect again. I want you to prepare again. Not because everything looks perfect, but because God is faithful. Not because your situation looks easy, but because God is powerful. Not because you have it all together, but because God holds it all together. Speak it, declare it, expect it, prepare for it, because God is about to reload your bank account. And when He does, nothing and no one will be able to stop what He is pouring into your life. Your season of lack is ending. Your season of worry is ending. Your season of scarcity is ending. You are stepping into overflow. You are stepping into abundance. You are stepping into supernatural provision. Get ready. God is about to do more than you asked, more than you imagined, more than you believed possible. And when it happens, you will look back on this moment and say, surely God did this. Surely He heard my prayer. Surely He remembered me. Surely He restored me. Surely He reloaded everything that life tried to empty. Your account, your life, your future is about to be filled again. Get ready for the deposit. Get ready for the increase. Get ready for the miracle. God is about to reload your bank account. There are moments in life when everything around you seems to drain your strength, your joy, and your sense of stability. You can be going through your days doing everything you know to do, working hard, staying committed, holding on to faith, and still feel as though life keeps pulling from you more than it gives. There are seasons when your finances feel strained, when your emotions feel overextended, when your spirit feels tired, and when your heart feels overwhelmed by responsibilities and disappointments. It is in these seasons that you begin to question how you will keep going, how you will recover, and how you will find the strength to rise again. But what seems like the end of your strength is often the beginning of God's intervention. When you feel empty, God sees an opportunity to pour Himself into you in ways you have never experienced before. God restores what life drains, not because you earned it, but because restoration is part of His nature. God is a restorer. He does not simply patch what is broken. He breathes life into what has been worn down. When everything in you feels depleted, He does not criticize you for being weak. He steps in because He knows you cannot restore yourself alone. The very moment you feel the most drained is often the moment heaven leans closest. God is drawn to your emptiness because emptiness is space. It is room for Him to work, to fill, to strengthen, and to renew. You may feel like every area of your life has been withdrawing from you without replenishment. Perhaps you have poured into people who did not pour back into you. Perhaps you have worked tirelessly and have not seen the results you hoped for. Perhaps you have smiled publicly while crying privately. Maybe you have given your best and still feel as though life has taken more from you than it has returned. But even when you feel like you have nothing left, God sees the potential for a fresh beginning. He sees your struggle. He hears your silent prayers, and He knows the weight you carry. And right when you think you have reached your limit, God releases strength, wisdom, provision, and peace that lifts you beyond what you can do on your own. It is important to understand that God does not wait until you are overflowing to bless you. He waits until you are empty enough to fully receive Him. When the widow in Scripture thought she had only a little oil left, God multiplied what remained. When the disciples said they had only a small amount of food, Jesus broke it and fed thousands. When Gideon felt unqualified and weak, God used him to win battles no one thought possible. The pattern is clear. God does His greatest work in moments of human emptiness. So if you feel drained financially, emotionally, spiritually, do not assume that emptiness means God has abandoned you. Emptiness does not mean failure. Emptiness means God is preparing to fill you in a new and powerful way. When you have reached the end of your own resources, that's when God's supernatural resources begin. When you cannot see a way out, God creates a way. When you cannot carry yourself, God carries you. When you run out of ideas, God gives you wisdom. When your strength fails, His strength becomes your source. Your emptiness is not the end of your story. It is the doorway to restoration. God is about to refill what life has drained. He is about to renew what has been weary. He is about to heal what has been hurting. He is about to rebuild what has been broken. And when He restores you, He will restore you in a way that leaves no trace of the emptiness that once consumed you. God restores what life drains fully, completely, and abundantly. Divine provision is not limited by human resources. And this truth becomes clearer the more we learn to trust God instead of the systems around us. Too often we rely on our job, our income, our connections, or our education, as if these things are the foundation of our survival.
is our stage, we came to play. Dribble past defense, ain't no delay. 3-pointer swish, crowd goes insane. Victory sweet, we brought the pain.
I am so thankful that I found Heartbeat. It has simplified everything for me in my business. It allowed me to get launched in like a few months rather than like a whole year's worth of building things out.
Because it has everything that you need in one place.
Looked at a lot of different platforms to build a community on, and the user interface and the user experience just seemed lacking. It didn't feel welcoming and feel active. Their actual community felt alive and interactive.
And it also had the little features like referrals that really made it an obvious choice, and the price was reasonable as well, which made it
really easy to use and simple to set up.
The team itself is incredibly responsive.
Heartbeat really is for communities that want to grow in whichever way makes more sense for them.
And they're constantly listening to their customers. They respond to my emails. They take my advice.
If you want to build any type of membership online, any community online, I cannot recommend Heartbeat enough.
Click that button, whatever button is there for you to start your community, and that you launch it with Heartbeat, because I haven't found a better platform than this.
While these are tools that God can use, they are not the true source of our provision. Your employer is not your provider. God is. Your paycheck is not your sustainer. God is. Your background, family history, or social status is not what determines your future. Yet God sent ravens to feed him. The Israelites wandered through a wilderness with no farms, no water sources, no resources. Yet God sent bread from heaven and water from a rock. These miracles remind us that God does not need much to do much. He simply needs faith. He operates beyond human logic, beyond human systems, and beyond human limitations. When you believe that divine provision is your source, you stop putting pressure on your job to be your everything. You stop fearing that if one door closes, your life is over. You stop shrinking your dreams to match your bank balance. Instead, you begin to expect that God can bring opportunities from places you never imagined. He can send favor through people you've never met. He can create income streams you never considered. He can make a way where there was no way. And he can do it without asking permission from anyone. This kind of faith positions you for greater blessing because you begin to see life through a spiritual lens. You understand that God's ability to provide is not tied to your background, your credentials, or your past mistakes. God does not bless you based on where you came from. He blesses you based on who he is. And who he is never changes. He is Jehovah Jireh, your provider, your sustainer, your source. So when you look at your life and see limitations, remember that God does not see what you see. You see shortages. He sees opportunity. You see lack, he sees potential. You see barriers, he sees breakthroughs. And when he decides to bless you, he does not need a job promotion, a loan approval, or a human endorsement to do it. His provision flows from heaven, and heaven has no shortage. Divine provision means you can breathe again. You can plan again. You can dream again. You can expect again, because your situation does not determine what God can do. His power does, and his supply is unlimited. Every season of loss prepares you for a season of overflow. Even when it doesn't feel like it in the moment, loss is painful. Loss is confusing. Loss makes you question your value, your decisions, and sometimes even your purpose. But what looks like subtraction in your life is often divine preparation. When something is taken away, when someone leaves, when a door closes, or when a dream seems to die, it's not always the enemy working against you. Sometimes it's God clearing space for something far greater than what you had before. Withdrawals, pre-deposits. What looks like decrease is often the setup for increase. Think about it this way. When a cup is full of something old, you can't pour something fresh into it unless you first make room. Sometimes God allows seasons where things are emptied out of your life, not to punish you, but to prepare you. He removes what was draining you, blocking you, or limiting you, even if at the time it felt like it was helping you. People may walk away, but their absence creates space for the right connections. Opportunities may dry up, but the closure makes room for bigger, more aligned opportunities. Money may run low, but the pressure can push you into new ideas, strategies, and blessings you never would have pursued if everything stayed comfortable. Loss teaches you what abundance could never teach. Loss strengthens you, reshapes you, humbles you, and sharpens your discernment. It reveals who is truly for you. It exposes what you were depending on too heavily. It shows you where your trust really lies, and it positions you to value the blessings that are coming in a way you never would have appreciated before. God doesn't waste loss. He transforms it. He uses it. He turns it into the foundation of your next breakthrough. Every withdrawal in your life, every painful goodbye, every failure, every setback, every disappointment was not the end, but the clearing process before your overflow. You cannot receive new blessings while holding on to old burdens. You cannot enter a new season while still carrying the weight of the last one. God knew what needed to be removed before he could release what he promised. That heartbreak, that closed door, that financial struggle, that separation, that unexpected things, silence is often God working behind the scenes, arranging what you cannot see, aligning what you didn't expect, and preparing what you've been waiting for. Then, just when you are convinced that nothing is moving, God steps in. Suddenly his breakthroughs often appear quickly, so quickly that the shift feels almost unreal. One moment it looks like everything is standing still, and the next moment doors begin to open, opportunities begin to appear, answers begin to come, and solutions that you prayed for years suddenly materialize. This is how God works. The same God who takes time to prepare you is the same God who can transform your situation in a single moment. His timing may feel slow in the process, but his intervention is swift when the moment is right. When the breakthrough arrives, it will be unexpected, undeniable, and unmistakably divine. Unexpected because it will come in a way you didn't predict. Undeniable because the blessing will be too specific and too perfect to be coincidence. Unmistakably divine because everyone, including you, will know that only God could have orchestrated it. The suddenness of the breakthrough is not because God just decided to start working. It's because he has been working all along. He's been shifting things in the spiritual realm, lining up people, preparing resources, influencing decisions, and guiding events towards your favor long before you saw any evidence of change. Sometimes God delays the visible blessing so that when he releases it, there will be no confusion about who deserves the glory. He waits until human options run out, so he can show that he alone is your source. He waits until the odds are against you, so that when he turns things around, your testimony becomes even more powerful. He waits until you have outgrown the fear, the doubt, and the insecurities that would have caused you to mishandle the blessing. When you finally receive it, it will not feel rushed. You will know in your spirit that it arrived at the perfect time. Your endurance has not been wasted. Every tear, every sacrifice, every prayer, every silent battle, and every moment of perseverance has been building toward this coming breakthrough. You are closer than you think. What God is about to release will not be small, delayed, or partial. It will be full, complete, and overflowing. It will happen in such a way that you will look back and say, "Now I understand why I had to wait." Sudden breakthroughs are not random. They are the reward for long seasons of endurance, and yours is on the way. God is about to reveal what he has been preparing behind the scenes. And when he does, it will arrive quickly, unexpectedly, and undeniably. Repair, that medical prescription. These are not just worldly worries. These are the very needs that God himself has promised to meet. He is not just concerned with your soul. He is concerned with your entire being, your life here on this earth. He wants to demonstrate his faithfulness in the practical, tangible areas of your existence so that the world will see and know that you serve a living God. And now, hold on to your seats, because this is the part that will send the devil running. According to the riches of his glory. Can you grasp that? Can your heart even contain such a truth? It is not according to the riches of your employer. It is not according to the fluctuations of the stock market. It is not. The greatest shock will be the realization of how long we have lived as spiritual paupers when we were meant to be kings and priests. The shock is that we have tolerated lack. We have bowed to debt. We have accepted struggle, when all while the key to the vault was in our hands, buried in a book we rarely opened with faith. The shock is the sheer speed, the breathtaking creativity, the overwhelming generosity with which heaven moves when we finally stop begging and start believing, when we stop complaining and start commanding, when we cooperate with God's system of seed time and harvest, of promise and confession. Your wallet is about to change from a symbol of anxiety into a testimony of God's faithfulness. People are going to ask you, how did you get that debt paid off? And you will pull out that warrant card and say, let me tell you about my God. Your financial struggle is not your destiny. It is about to become your greatest praise report. Do it today. Don't wait for a better time. Don't wait until you feel more holy or more worthy. You are made worthy by the blood of Jesus. That is your only qualification. Get a card, write the verse, place it in your wallet, and then get ready. Get ready for all your needs, all your lacks, all your anxieties to be met by His riches, His glorious, inexhaustible, overwhelming riches. Get ready to be shocked by the goodness of God. Get ready to be stunned by His faithfulness. But I must leave you with this one final thought, a key that locks all the others into place. Because there is a moment that comes for every warrior of faith, a moment between the confession and the manifestation, when the only thing you have to stand on is what you believe about the heart of your Father. And what you do in that sacred, silent space will determine everything.